I'm taking a template to a cabinet maker. They're going to make a bench top for me, and we'll do a bit of work in the galley. Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat, and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. The first job I'm doing while I'm off the boat is I've taken all the cushions out of the saloon, and I've taken them to a trimmer, and I'm having them all reupholstered. So that's job number one. The other job involves remodelling my galley a bit. I'm going to move my stove, put an induction cooktop in, and make a new bench for it all to sit on. So the plan is to get a bench top made to cover this area. I'll put the sink back in here, but the bench top will cover all of this area, and then on top of the bench top here I'm going to put a 2-burner induction cooktop. So I'm going to get this whole bench top made out of Corian and install it. My microwave that takes up a lot of bench space can go where the oven part of that cooktop is, and that'll free up the bench space on the back side of the galley, so that should be good. So I'm just going to clean up around where the oven's going to go in, and we'll give that a bit of a paint out before we put the bench top on. Got a new switch to go on here, and I'm going to put 2 sockets and a switch that'll turn the microwave on, so that'll make that a bit neater. But what I've got to do is get the microwave cable up into here, so I'm probably going to have to go in through there, then up through there, I reckon, in a bit of stainless. So there's the template for the new bench top. I think I might take it down to Pete's and cut it out of a solid bit of MDF. Of course the boat's pretty hard to live on with the galley pulled apart like that. Now I want to get this wire from the microwave up through here and then up to this switch. So that's where the switch is going to go on there. That wire's got to feed up to it, and I'll have one switch to turn the microwave on and off. So I've got to drill a hole through here and then another one up to pick up. I'll finish that with a bit of stainless to just cover the wire that comes up through through the bench top. So this wire will come up through that bench top, and then that bit of stainless will just go down there to protect it, and all of that will go in behind the switch. So that'll be pretty excellent actually. Just be nice. So the next chore is going to be to take the sink out, the taps out, then I'll have no water, I guess. That hose was easy enough to get off. Take the rest of these screws out, should just lift out. Okay, sink's out. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same sink, but I'm going to take this return off that edge. So this return on the sink here that the seal used to go on, I'm going to cut that off, grind it off, and the deal is I want to sandwich this lip between the top of this whole bench and the new bench top. So I'll probably have to cut this out a little bit as well. I've turned the fresh water off. I'll just drain it out of here. And then what I'm going to do is take these taps out, and then I'll put the hoses back on so that I can turn the water back on, so I can have a shower tonight if I need one. If you're ever doing any plumbing on a boat, this braided hose is great for cold water, but never use it on hot water, because if you do, the hot water will affect it and will burst eventually. So I did that. I used this same hose on the hot and the cold, and you can see I've had to go to a rubber hose, a hot water hose for the hot water, because this just the hot heat just makes it expand, and it eventually fractures and blows up, and then you end up with a leak in your boat. A couple of fittings here to undo. Easy with the sink out. Still got plenty of length in those feed hoses there, not a problem. When all this goes back in though, I've got to do it under the sink, so it's a little bit more of a chore, but it won't be too bad. Okay, so I've taken that return off the edge of that, and what I'm going to do is I want that to go down, and I want that to sandwich in between this bench and the new bench top I'm putting on. So the new bench top will come to here, follow these radiuses, and it'll cover all of this return. It'll be sandwiched in sicker. So I think that's the way to do it, but what I've got to do is take a little bit more off the old bench top, just so that it drops up in here. I bought this panel saw from Bunnings not long ago, and it might be just ideal for doing this little job in here. great little tool for tight spaces like that. So now, the sink will go in there. If we get our template, that red short should be cut off. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of wriggle room for the sink, and that's should come right to the edge like that. That'll be beautiful. Bedded in sicker, it'll just be nice, and the corners will be radiused in the sink as well. So that should be good. So bench top will come right to there. New tap in there. Beautiful. Let's clean up this mess. Well, it's good to be working on Peggy-Anne. This is going to really modernise the galley, make it look a lot better I think, and a lot more modern. And when I get the new cushion covers for the saloon, it'll be like being on a new boat. I'll have to go and use it a bit more. Anyway, it's a good day's toil. I think I'll probably go and have a shower now, and that'll be it. Well, it's pretty well finished now. All I've got to do is put the tap back in and put the plug back on the wall. New cooktops, new sink with a flick mixer. Beautiful. probably all I have to do now is buy a whole heap of new pots and pans, I guess. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Looks good. So here's the deal. At Robin's Kitchen they've got a nice little set. It's all convection ready and $299. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pans and a fry pan. Not too bad, pretty good quality stuff. It's Baccarat. So I went to Kmart and bought this set for $75, I think it was. It's definitely not as good quality as the Baccarat set, but look, it should do here. And I've been spending too much money. So here's the proof that the galley works. Nice little Mongolian curry and rice. And I tell you what, the cooktop is very controllable, so the temperature can be controlled really easily from hot down to 60 degrees, which is just simmering. But changes the temperature really quick. The temperature change is almost instantaneous, and it boils water in about 2 minutes. So I think it's a good addition to the galley. Bit of a rum going there. This is my sink with the chopping board on top. So that works pretty well too. So you've got a sink and then a bit more bench space when you're not using the sink. And it's freed up all of this area over here because the microwave is now down there. Fantastic. I think the new cushions look pretty neat, giving the whole cabin a bit of a lift. Well, the boat's back to being pretty shipshape. Just put on water. I've mixed up a bit of coolant I had to do for the engine rooms, stowed all my clothes away. All the cushions are back on the settee and looks really good. So the boat's back to being livable again, which is great. The kitchen's all done, the galley's all remodelled. That's fantastic. One thing I like about being on the boat, there's always something to do. I'm never looking for a job. I've always seemed to got something on, so I just love that fact that it keeps me pretty active. Anyhow, we're going to head off again tomorrow. I'll drop the lines here in the marina tomorrow morning, and I'm going to head back down to Jacob as well. I've still got to resupply. I've got to put some food on the boat, so I haven't got much of that on. But I'll do that tomorrow, and we'll probably... I've got a couple of little jobs to do. I might stay there for a few days at my mate's place, but after that we're going to head down the Broadwater and look at heading out across the seaway and down into New South Wales. And I think they're opening the Queensland border on next Tuesday, I think. So it looks like the COVID thing may be over for now anyway. And that'll make travel a bit easier. I should be able to get back. But anyway, I'm heading south, so once I get into New South Wales, I've got all the New South Wales coast to play on over summer, and as long as I can get back up here before it starts getting too cold, I'll be a happy chap. Anyhow, a bit more cruising to do. Come along with me, have some fun. Do it yourself. It's great.